Out there, my guys, welcome into Simu RPG once again. Guys, such a pleasure to be here with you to talk about maybe one of the greatest games ever for me as a Final Fantasy VII fan, for me as an RPG fan. Thank you so much for being here. And Final Fantasy VII Remake for me, it's just amazing. And today, we're going to address Chapter 11. So Chapter 11 of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Haunted, might seem like just a spooky interlude, something, in between, but it's actually one of the most thematically loaded chapters in the game. A lot of themes. It's a psychological, emotional, and spiritual exploration of fate, death, and memory. Being memory one of the things that are most related to this game. Today we're going deep into the ghostly graveyard, dissecting hidden meanings, characters' insights, and major theories that might just change how you see the entire remake. We're not talking about only this game, we're not talking about just a chapter, but all in between. Okay, it's a chapter that is really important, and in Final Fantasy VII it didn't had so much impact to it. They had a lot of things in this, a lot of awesome things, to be honest, in this, and I can say for certain that this is, although for a gamer, especially new to Final Fantasy, it seems like I don't know about this. But for us, OG lovers of RPG and story-wise Final Fantasy VII, it's awesome. It's really awesome. So where we are after escaping the sewers, we jump on the train graveyard. We have a lot of things. Sector 7 is really in trouble right now. As we know from the OG, Sector 7 is about to fall. And Tiff is worried, the characters are on edge and worried they want to move forward quickly. But here comes the train graveyard, and this is not an easy part of the game, especially in Remake, because they did extend this a lot. But it's fun to see the connections between this and everything that the game has to offer. So the train graveyard has always been iconic in Final Fantasy VII. So this is not a new section. It's an old section, but revamped with more meaning. But in Remake, like I was saying, it's transformed into something much deeper. Much deeper. A liminal space between life and death, between past and future, because we're gonna see crazy things on this. Okay, this is where the world's forgotten end up. Children, workers, citizens lost under Shinra's rule. It's not just haunted. It's haunted by consequence. Has a deep meaning on it. These trains meant to carry people forward now go nowhere, just like timelines that were abandoned. So imagine, the main objective on this game and on this remake, is timelines, is the fact that you have different timelines. That's why it goes so much deeper than this. Past and the future are connected. And in Remake, or should I say in this timeline, it's even more and more subtle the way they put this, but at the same time it screams timeline. It screams dead timelines that went nowhere, timelines that are stuck in a moment, could be that, first, the timelines were, very, very expand here. And as we can see, the childlike ghosts aren't just monsters, They're narrative devices. They lead, block, attack, but they are also mournful, trapped. So they are forgotten, they are left here, they are, dead timelines. Some theories on this part of the game suggest they are souls of children lost during Shinra construction. Around Midgar, around doing that big metropolis that is Midgar, and upper plate, lower plate, because Midgar is the upper plate. Although we are inserted in all of Midgard, the bottom, Shinra doesn't care about it. Shinra doesn't want to have nothing about it. They don't want to be discovered. They don't want for them to actually live. They don't even care about. Actually, Shinra doesn't care about anything. But that's another way to see things. So here we are, trapped in the train graveyard with a bunch of spirits, and we see kids as live stream forms, much like Final Fantasy X. That's why there's a correlation, or kind of a correlation, between Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy X, and all the premise of live stream on this channel. I don't know, like I said, some theories suggest there are souls of children lost during Shinra construction. Others believe they're echoes of failed timelines. So I spoke with a bunch of players and messages and theories and search and research for everything, and they believe that they're echoes of failed timelines, versions of events that no longer exist, ghosts of what could have been. And that's a deeper meaning for the game, isn't it? That's a meaning that you can think, hey, maybe that's not right. Maybe just this is too much. But think about it. Imagine that the whispers, like we always say, they are trying to put the timelines as close and as faithful to the original timeline as possible, right? But just like a few of the timelines were lost, it's actually gone. And not normal. Gone. They just stopped. Hey Archangel, what's going on? Guys, although we are recording a video, this is a live experience, so bear with me. Nice to see you, Archangel. Buenos dias. So imagine that those timelines are that, and that's it. They failed. The whispers of fate fail to put the timeline back to its normal place, back to the original timeline that was supposed. This could be the ghost of past timelines, things that will never happen or never will be again. For example, the ghost girl in particular has become a subject of massive speculation. Is she someone Aerith once knew? Or is she a version of Aerith herself? Her actions feel protective, almost familiar. So when we see this, right, and we're gonna see up in the video, in the rest of the gameplay, that Aerith is just sitting down there, scared. And there's some kind of protection, and we see Aerith on the final part of this chapter, sitting down alone and abandoned. Could this once again be a timeline where Aerith, instead of her mother, dies? Or for some reason, Aerith actually dies in the timeline, that the Whispers could not prevent Aerith dead as a child after being, playing or abandoned, or maybe he fell in the Everdive, escaped, and Aerith died, or maybe she never was found by her mother. So there's a lot of speculations on it. Aerith's reactions on this situation are too calm, don't you think? Too knowing. It seems that she knows something. When you saw that, the expression, "I'm coming to get you," I would be afraid. Wouldn't you, Archangel? I would be afraid. So, in this case, Aerith's demeanor here is striking. She's not afraid of the ghosts. In fact, she seems to understand them, as we can see. This calm confidence has led many to theorize that Aerith retains memories across all the timelines that she lived. Not that Aerith is the same girl that Final Fantasy VII has, which I don't believe she is. I think there's a whole different persona, a whole different way of being, a whole different everything. But like it says, he retains the memories across timelines. Or, of course, as visions from the planet that others don't receive. In my opinion, I still love way more the part that is she is not the same as Final Fantasy VII OG. She's a whole different persona, a whole different character, a whole different everything. I don't think she is the same one. So, with this said, a connection, a deep connection to the live stream means she might be reading the very echoes of time left in the graveyard, like a conversion point, as a place where all the failed timelines and all the timelines that actually failed alongside are stored, are there. And it makes me think, no doubt about it, that once again this Aerith version is not the same as Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 1. Does it make sense to you? Does it show some kind of sense on what I'm saying? I know she has a deep connection with the live streaming and the planet, but don't you think that she's so much different from Aerith on Final Fantasy VII? Well, deep down we know that this is sequel, not a remake. And deep down we also know that maybe Aerith here has a connection to the planet that tells her what is happening, or that every single time or every single memory that she has at this point is everything that was happening or happened in another timeline. So her connection to the live stream, in all their interactions, especially with this young girl, her interaction with the ghost girl, or You know, I don't think this is a ghost. This is kind of Marlene, so it's crazy. So just recognition, not fear. She's not afraid of this part on the game. And Tifa, for example, Tifa is so scared of it right now that she's kind of worried about it. And it's scary, right? Because Tifa is indeed scared of being in that train cemetery, if you want to say like that. You know, those haunted train tracks on train graveyard. And she remembers, you know, the talk she had with Marlene about that. So it's really, you know, crazy. And for a brief moment, she doesn't even think about Sector 7 other than here, almost in the middle of that chapter. These spirits are acting in purpose. They are not chaos, they're resistance. They might be souls rejected by the timeline the Whispers are trying to enforce. And once again, there you go. The Whispers trying to enforce different timelines. And these are not welcome in the normal timelines, as it seems, which, you know, we can understand. And we can think the why on it, right? Does it make sense to you guys? Well, tell me what you think in the comments section below, and well, continue to watch this so we can discuss more. And if you have any theory, don't be shy, just put it on the channel and we'll go and see it and talk about it. So they are trying to enforce, the Whispers are trying to enforce a timeline, that's for sure. Think about it. The Whispers protect fate, but these ghosts interrupt, delay, and even guide. It's like a tug of war between what should happen and what wants to happen. So there are things that are different and they don't want to happen like that. Maybe because they are ghosts. Maybe because they want to change and overcome difficulties that we had. So can be all of them at the same as well. This supports the theory that Final Fantasy Remake operates on a multiverse level. Indeed, it does, and probably most of us know that. Each chapter may intersect with timelines abandoned or overwritten. Example, this attack on Sector 7. In the next chapter we're going to see that, and maybe there's a few things that are not quite the same. Trends are often symbols of progress, momentum, and fate, but in this chapter they're stalled, decaying, as destiny derailed. So once again, the fact that the destiny might be, you know, over for that timeline, and they are, you know, there, stuck, stalled, with nothing much more to do. I think this is a reflection of Midgard itself, a city stuck in a cycle of corporate tyranny and lost potential. And there's a sentence, you can only go as a train where the tracks lead you, and Midgard lead you in a spin around and around. And it's true, you know. Every rusted car that we see here, every flickering light tells a story of abandonment. They were abandoned, and by extension of a planet losing its future. And that's what Shinra is doing, right? That's exactly what Shinra is doing, and we can see that by the crescent used of Mako, the crescent use of that energy that is killing the planet. Even the lightning design plays into this. Areas bathed in green live stream like light at a spiritual resonance. It's like, this is meant to be like this, the light stream around, and we see this in these little ghosts, because it's just trying to help, aren't you? I don't know. And she's not afraid, once again, see? She is not afraid of the ghosts. We're afraid of no ghosts. Perhaps even moments where time is bleeding through. Like this. This is something. You are the one who... And she just crumbles into tears. So, this can be, as we're going to see, the part of fate where Aerith died. In other timeline, as a young kid, lost, scared. She was playing in the train graveyard and something happened. Is she Aerith right there? We don't know. They are playing, but then we see a little Aerith crying. And we see, but where's Aerith? And that's when we know that something is up. So maybe this Aerith here is another Aerith from other timeline. Someone that died. It's really crazy, I know. So Eligor is more than a creepy ghost boss. He rides a chariot and wields time. Okay, this next boss that we're going to see, which is the main boss of this chapter, Eligor. In many mythologies, a charioteer or a ferryman guides souls between realms or between timelines. Eligor might be guarding the path between past and future, life and death, one timeline from another one. His attack can delay characters, reveal weaknesses, and mess with your perception. This isn't just gameplay. It's a meta commentary on how the story itself is being manipulated. And this boss, it's scary on its own standpoint. And when you defeat him, you'll see, the path opens. Symbolically, Cloud's team defeats Time's Gatekeeper, at least temporarily. So, can this mean that this boss is working with the Whispers of Fate? And on the verge of time, he was sent to actually continue to delay the timeline, to delay Cloud's team in order to give the time or enough time for Shinra to destroy Sector 7, and so the timeline being preserved. I think one of the things can be that. This chapter doesn't just deal in spirits, it also gives us emotional growth. Tifa starts to show more concern about Cloud's state of mind, while Cloud seems more introspective. Cloud is this growing closeness by another thread of fate within itself, or could be the interference on moments that shouldn't be happening, but are happening right now. Moments the Whispers may need to correct later, because we're gonna see that in this timeline. And in different opportunities, we will see Whispers correcting a lot of things in the timeline. This chapter here, of course, after this boss, ends not with the relief that it should, but with dread. Sector 7 awaits, and we know what's coming. And although delayed, they will arrive at the right time. But after everything we've been seeing here, the spirits, the derailed fate, the warnings, you have to wonder. Were the ghosts trying to stop us, or were they preparing us? And here it comes. The part that we think that is most important on this chapter was this boss, these ghosts, stalling us in name of the Whispers in order to the things that Sector 7 needed to happen, and to Chinra had enough time to destroy Sector 7 upper plate and Sector 7 slums. It's one of the great questions in this game, in this video. Chapter 11 is a ghost story, yes, but it's also kind of a prophecy. The planet is screaming through the silence, and Aerith might be the only one truly listening and knowing all the things. And I don't doubt it that is exactly what is happening on this chapter. Once again, this chapter does not end in a light way. It ends with dread. It ends with everything that we were waiting for on the different timeline. This opens the path to Sector 7 and to the destruction ahead. And we can see the light stream vanishing, the ghosts once again being freed. The timeline is secured once again. The ghosts have done their job. So, what do you think? Are the ghosts echoes of failed timelines? Are they trying to help or hunt us? And what does this say about fate, memory, and Aerith's role in this tangled reality? Let's talk in the comments, and if this breakdown made you feel like you're uncovering the truth beneath the surface, hit like, sub, and ring that spectral bell of fate, guys. I want to thank you, every single one of you that been helping us with this journey, and thank you once again for watching this video until the end. Please comment and share the video because help us grow. And if you have the space to another sub, please do it. And I'll hope to see you in the next one, soldiers. Simu RPG out. Thank you so much for watching.